Welcome back to the waters of Droucia. This episode, episode number 26, is going to be a little bit different. My file, the recording of our session, became corrupted. I know not how, but I've put steps in place to try to prevent this from happening again in the future. As such, I'm going to be giving a recap of what happened during that session, such that future episodes will make sense if you are watching the playback. Previously on Droucia, the party had come to the encampment of the Skyfire clan of orcs. They had been asked to aid in the defense of that clan as payment for their hospitality over the course of the evening. The clan has been beset by specters, ghouls, spirits, monsters of the night, rotting flesh and shambling forms, approaching and assailing their village. This is not a permanent village that the Skyfire clan maintains. This is where they spend their winters, because of its relatively decent hunting and fishing grounds, with rivers that do not entirely freeze over. It makes for a well-defended location to weather the incredibly harsh winters that the southern continent of Aquan persevere through. However, this late in the season, they've now been here nearly 30 days, probably a little bit long, potentially even a little bit longer than they normally would be. They usually leave from here and travel north, following the game as it travels north, as the winter recedes. Their continued presence in this space has led to overhunting, overfishing, and food is starting to grow scarce. They lost a few hunting parties, one in particular, for quite a long time during the winter. Then a few others were waylaid and were unsuccessful. So they had already exhausted most of their stores, and things are getting tight. Now, this nightly ritual of defending their own people has grown weary on them. They do have a healer in the form of Goodlang, Chief Frothy's mate, but healing is no substitute for a good meal and a good night's rest. Not over long term. Chief Frothy is distraught. He knows not what to do, because there's no place within several days' walk that he could transport his entire clan that would be safer than where they are currently, that would provide them better defense from where they are currently. It's designed to be a defensible location because they stay here for nearly 3 months. It's their longest staying encampment over the long winter. As such, any foray into the wilderness travel, if these specters followed them, the clan would be sitting ducks, ripe for the picking. Siegfried noticed that the stone on the apex of the chief's bashla is a bodmal stone. The party has encountered a few of them so far, and expressed interest in it to the chief. The chief knows not what the bodmal stone means, but says that crystal is a sign of the Skyfire clan, and it's been passed from chief to chief for generations. But not for defending them for a night, but for solving this problem entirely, such that the clan can endure without needing to stave off these specters every evening. He would happily part with an heirloom such as that, if it meant this preservation of his people. The group rallied to defend the clan. They each commanded squads of up to 8 members of the Skyfire clan, and a fierce battle was fought. Some members of the orc tribes were injured, but Gunlang, whose image you just saw, was astute in making sure that she was consistently trying to get around the area and pulling any injured members closer to this interior of the camp, such that she can take care of them. No one was killed at that point. The first wave of these specters, creatures, ghouls, zombies was staved off, seemingly. Most of the smaller throngs were dealt with. The commanding totemic herders were dispatched handily, and the tormentors who threw motes of fire, such that the Bashla might be set ablaze, were also dispatched. Only a few stragglers remained when the group heard a call from Jolly, the guard that had greeted them. For help, for aid, something's got him. Now, the group had been warned previously that these specters, these undead horrors, take people. They have members of the community that vanish into the night and are only noticed gone during the next morning. Everyone in the clan has been warned about this. Even a 15-year-old girl of the Skyfire clan vanished from inside her own Bashla, no one the wiser until morning. So, when Helrast and Aeolus heard the calls of Jolly that something's got him, they rushed and found a 17-foot-tall, shambling creature. An undead-looking husk. Its ribcage cracked and pulled open, the ribs sticking like teeth, and an open maw of a chest cavity. Its head missing any type of jaw, in place a broken and cracked skull stained with blood and viscera. Massive horns of stone and rock, and wood and moss growing from parts of its body. A corrupted treant. This monstrosity, they know not what it is, was the source of these calls. The group realized that these creatures, whatever this is able to imitate sounds to the point that no one could tell any different. This must be how it lured victims away from the camp. They fought this creature. 3 of these creatures, assailing different areas of the camp. Siegfried had placed an order with some of the orcs under his control to continue to guard the left flank. That would be the southwest. And hold the line while he reinforced the center as another one of these creatures approached. He had not known that one of them was approaching his flank as well, coming north along the stream. That flank and those 2 phalanxes of orcs suffered heavy casualties. These creatures able to tear them apart in a blow or maybe 2, picking some of them up and biting them in half, leaving entrails. The party learned that these things are incredibly susceptible to fire magic, and Willem was very astute in his usage of directing a few scorching rays at the one that had harried the phalanxes under Siegfried's command, thanks to his exceptional dark vision. The tribe suffered heavy losses during this assault. There were other assaults during the night, but after these 3 creatures were dispatched, there was a reprieve, and the party was able to retire themselves, while the second shift took over to defend. During the morning light, Gunlang confirmed there were 19 losses over the course of the evening. Far more than any of the nights previously. No one was taken. All of the losses were accounted for as individuals, and bodies remained. But 19 dead members of the Skyfire clan. A funeral pyre to be held. The party made the elective decision that they need to move with haste. As soon as they had rested and finished and eaten, they were setting out some direction. They gathered information hoping that they might be able to maybe follow a trail of where these creatures came from, somewhere to the southwest. They suspect, as north and east there is nothing but river, and the undead don't seem to cross the rivers. You know not if these large things did. So, south they plan. The clan itself is going to hold a funeral pyre, but early in the morning they set to work on clearing the nearest reaches of the forest all around their encampment, blighting the landscape upon which they make their winter home, but creating a burn wall, such that any flaming arrow might be able to set it all alight and create a ring from stream all the way back around, such to protect their encampment from these particular creatures again, due to their particular aversion to flame, it seems. The plan was that the clan is going to do their best to try to endure a night, 2, 3, however long they can, whilst the party, under the agreement from Chief Frothy, seeks to try to put an end to this. Siegfried wants to start with the group of orcs that went missing, the one hunting clan that did not return, 4 members. The hunting team of the clan that did not return over the winter. 4 members had gone missing, and it was a particularly rough blizzard that they were stuck out in. They never came back. The party saw a grieving member of them on the family member of one of them, sister, on the way in, but did not speak with her out of respect. The party now sets off, trying to trace the tracks of skilled hunters months afterwards into the wilderness, hoping that maybe they might come across the tracks of these undead. Hellerast has chosen to call these monstrous creatures that mimic sounds perfectly and consume the members of the Skyfire clan, and almost tried to consume some of the members of the party. She has dubbed these monstrosities Wendigo. And this is where we're going to pick up next session, as the party sets out. Thank you for staying with us. Thank you for enjoying the stories. We'll see you in the next episode.